Hey guys, welcome to the Dual Threat Podcast, available on the Holy City Hot Podcast Network. I am your host, Nick, and this is Ryan. Got the Four State boys holding it down tonight. How are we doing today, Ryan?
Be a lot better if we weren't relying on the last week of the season for bowl eligibility.
Yeah, that's the misery of a Four State fan right now. For anyone that doesn't know or vastly unaware what's going on in life, Four State dropped the last ACC game of the season to NC State 21-11.
Yeah.
Four. And a very miserable game just to watch on Friday night. Friday night and Four State do not get along, yet we somehow always end up on there. But
all the time. Those Friday night games kill us, man.
Killing us, man. Well, it's the last. We haven't been missing you guys the last few weeks. That's been some of my problem, mostly everybody else's. But we're back. It's week 14. It's Rivalry week for the last regular season week of college football. A lot of the things to be decided amongst these conferences. I spent a good portion of my day trying to figure that out and making some graphics. So I hope you appreciate them once I present them. We got a full game slate today. Before I continue, also just remind if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, give us a follow. We will do appreciate that. If you're listening to us down the road later on wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it's Apple or Spotify, please subscribe. So when we drop new episodes, you would get that notification to pop in and pop out. Right. All right. Like I said earlier, we have a full slate of games per much. We're going to not run through all of them. We'll go through a good bit of them. We're going to start with the two popular games followed by this podcast mainly, and then we're going to pop into Big 10, SEC, Big 12, G5, some scenarios going on over there. Ready to lock in, Ryan?
I'm ready. I've been ready.
All right.
Just because a couple of Clemson fans can't get their stuff together and show up.
Yeah, right. They got to work and stuff. But, Ryan, since that's going to be the case, if you want to give a best bet while we drop in for each game as we're doing the game, probably just makes it easier.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you keep it rolling that way. Let's start, man. We're going to start with game of the week. Florida State and Florida.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go off the rail, man. I'm not waiting. I'm going to pop in.
At least one of us can still make a bowl game.
Yeah. I'm going to put this on share screen tab. There we go. All right. Here we go, guys. No, this just makes it good for audio. There it is. Here we go, guys. We got Florida State traveling to Florida. Battle of the Governor's Cup. Florida took this game last year. Come out earlier this week that Florida State will retain Mike Norvell for the 2026 season. I'm pretty sure that has very big mixed reviews. I've been checking X and Nation, Facebook, and a few other FSU hotspots, and a lot more people are pissed than happy. But I guess Florida State had to do this for a multitude of reasons. Part financial, $50 million buyout, in addition to the entire staff. It's a good haul. But you also have a lot of teams looking for head coaches on the cycle. So safe bet. Hopefully some reconstruction. Florida going through their own head coaching cycle themselves. James Franklin's off the market, off the Virginia Tech. Lane Kiffin could be a possibility. I know LSU's in the.
I was going to say, I think if he leaves, he's much more likely to go to LSU.
LSU,
Florida.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him. LSU's a pretty talented fellow, yeah. But enough of the coaching corral. We're going to focus on the game. Like Ryan said earlier, Florida State's focused on trying to make it to a bowl game. Right now, they are 5-6, trying to make it to 6 games. Florida State has not won a road game since November of 23.
Oof.
When
ouch, which was the last Florida game.
Last Florida game in Gainesville. So
no, I'm sorry, the last one they won. Sorry.
Won.
That's right. Yeah, the last one they won.
So, let you take the lead. What's your thoughts? What are your expectations of Florida State? I know that's kind of like been the head scratcher when you cut the TV on. It's like, what version of this team are you going to get?
Well, the unfortunate thing is it seems like the defense has finally started to pick up, on some of these play calls and schemes, while the offense that was the stronger part of the team at the beginning of the season can't seem to connect anymore, especially on big plays. And that's where they were really shining. I think they're in a fairly decent position. Florida, I believe, is still going to try to start Tramel Jones, the freshman. He had a couple of touchdowns, but he really didn't have a great game other than maybe I think 2 or 3 long passes. I think that benefits Florida State. They do run an odd defensive scheme with the nickel and dime packages that a young player like Jones might never have seen before. But I got to say that Florida's defense is still really good. And unless the offense kicks in and reconnects that magic they had at the beginning of the season, we're going to see something a lot more like the NC State game last week, where they just can't seem to get on the same page on offense. And what happened to the run game? We gave that away way too quick last week.
Yeah, that's for the team where your primary point of offense is to run the ball.
Just run the ball.
Insane. I mean, I can speak a lot about the Carolina Panthers in their
what they had. Yeah. Oh, the Panthers. I know.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Same problem.
Bryce Young throws for almost 500 yards one time, and you totally abandon your biggest strength.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
right.
Yeah, I think Florida State only ran it 8 times in the second half against NC State.
It's just questionable play calling, man. I don't know. Like another feeding Deuce. I think Deuce top 1,000, right?
I believe he did. Yep, he finally got his 1,000.
Yeah. So shout out to Deuce Robinson.
Very rare company at Florida State for sure.
Which is insane given like the amount of receivers that came out of the school.
I know.
But it's kind of just can Mike Norvell get these players to lock in for one game, man? Like if you can't get hype up for your rival to beat Florida, I don't know what else you can do.
Yeah.
Like stuff. It's like, has the team vastly improved from last season? Absolutely. But the problem is the last season is not the bar.
Right.
Far from it.
It's the dirt below the bottom rung if you're Florida State. Like, it's not even on the ladder. No, and I mean, the players have consistently come out and had positive things to say about how Norvell coaches and how much they respect them, but it still seems like there's a significant amount of unpreparedness come game day. So you can respect them all you want, but if we're not executing, it's a moral victory at best. I think at least for the rivalry game, I feel like some of these players, especially some of these young players who say that they buy in at Florida State, Danzy, Desir, young kids like that, I bet they are pumped for this game. And maybe those are the kinds of players that'll be difference makers this week.
We kind of hope so, because the biggest, you hear me if you listen to this pod for any length of time. You've heard me say this numerous amount of times. And I'm not the only one. I'm not the first person to say this by far, not even the last or near it. It's just that, hey, man, you recruit high school and these players never see the field, or not, or at least not the majority of them. That's changed some this year. Some freshmen got in, especially on the D-line, the 2 twins. Danzy stepped in on as a younger bro, and some of these really good players from that good class you had a couple of years ago are hopefully finally manifesting. And that's what you're hoping the best for. I'm not sure. I know the recruiting class took a little bit of a hit. I know we got a flip at running back from South Carolina.
A flip back?
Flip back, yeah.
A flip back.
You can't really kind of like holding things true to these kids nowadays.
No, yeah. And I know I want to see an Ole Miss player just flip to Florida State as well. Linebacker, I believe. And they landed the number 1 linebacker in this year's recruiting class. So there's some bright spots coming in.
There's some bright spots. I think that's part of it. With the administration deciding to keep Norvell, it was like, all right, we got 2 new coordinators. I know Gus Malzahn got asked a question, and he just insanely didn't even answer it. Focus on this game. They were asked about if he's going to return next year. Which I know he has to do what he has to. He was there potentially interviewing for the
Arkansas job
for it. But as far as the play on the field, I think it's really going to just be like, kind of like you were saying earlier, Florida has a pretty good defense. Their defense has kept them competitive in games and stuff. Offense has been definitely a question mark. Can Florida State just force turnovers on their offense, put up some points to kind of just kill the will?
And avoid their own turnovers.
And avoid their own turnovers. Like, it's like Tommy Castellanos, like this, man. It's like you love him and you hate him in the same game, man, because like he'll throw a pretty bomb. Risks. Throw a pretty bomb, and it's perfect pass, and like next thing it's a pick for us. So it's like a 50-50, man. So, but we knew that was how he played coming into the season. So like I can't fault him for being who he is. So I'm hoping he balls out for his last game. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do want to see Sperry. I might get him in the bowl game, kind of just see what you have back there in the backup, bro, too. But if you're trying to make it a bowl game, obviously, I guess you're gonna go with your starters.
You gotta go with your starter if you're trying to rivalry game. What are you talking about? Yeah, you want to see Sperry? You want to see Sperry play against Florida? No. That's why Florida's playing their freshmen, is because their season's done, whether they win or not.
That's a fair point. Now for me, let me ask you first. What's your best betting strategy for this game?
You know what? I really don't know who to take as far as the spread goes. I really don't. This is probably one of the most.
Oh, it's a pick 'em across the board for the most.
Oh, we're doing pick 'ems. I was gonna take the under.
Oh, no. Just like as far as like your betting options across all the books, about I think 4 out of 7 books have them literally as a pick 'em. As far as the odds. Yeah, like this is literally, I think slightly this might be a little bit of favorite on the market that's going to Florida State. But
it looks like it. Yeah, it looks like they're a little more favored.
But like as far as like just who you think is going to win the game, I think is like even the odds makers don't know.
Yeah. Who's going to win? There's no telling. Do we see young freshmen at Florida step up and save the day, or does the defense make enough stops? Or on the Florida State side, does the offense hit those big plays that have kept them alive all season? What's going to happen? I can't say.
Honestly, I think the safe bet, honestly, is probably just take the under.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
just take the under
50.5.
I would not be surprised if this game ended 14-13.
I hope that.
I hope not, but I really would not. I would not. 16-14 maybe.
I was saying like 21-10.
21-10. We're the 21, right?
Yeah, we're the 21. Like stuff. I think 50 is too high. I don't think Florida's gonna be able to score that much. And Florida State's been on the underside in the last 5 games.
Can't get the offense rolling.
Yeah, we're the number 1 offense in the ACC. Make it make sense.
We have the most yards. That doesn't mean we're the most consistent.
Yeah, this is how they market.
Yeah, we have the most yards. The most yards does not make one the most consistent.
Yeah, the most yards we've turned the ball over a lot. So
we waste way too many scoring opportunities.
Oh, you're horrible in the red zone. Horrible. Well, we're not gonna be the only down bad game as the Governor's Cup, as we're gonna head back to the state of South Carolina for the Palmetto Cup. Oh, we got Clemson.
Rough year for rivalry week
for these 4 teams. Clemson headed to Columbia, new game to take on the Gamecocks. South Carolina is a 2-point favorite in this. 46.5 is the over-under on this. Brian, big game. There's some rumors out there about Dabble might be looking at greener pastures. Might be AI, might be stuff.
I'll tell you, unless it's Alabama, he ain't moving from that chair.
Yeah, I don't think he'll leave Clemson. But you won't have Clemson fans to defend them, so I don't know. I'm open to imagination.
We don't know what the cat talk is right now. You know, we're on the outside. We just hear from the dry. We ain't catching none of that cat talk.
Might go down he might take a trip to Gainesville and might like the alligators in the swamps nearby and be like, you know what? I always want to try the SEC. Not to throw those ruffle those feathers. But as far as the game on the field, Lenore Sellers versus Clay Klubnik. South Carolina's offensive line has been putrid for a good portion of the season.
That's saying it lightly. And they continue to get hurt. I don't know how one unit can be so injury prone. I really don't.
Yeah.
I think this will be their 21st different grouping of offensive linemen this season.
No, it's half the reason. It's probably definitely affected the development of Lenore Sellers by far. They did put up some points playing Coastal, kind of a feel-good win for them.
Had a few takeaways, a couple of special teams plays. Like they played a complete game.
Finally a complete game,
but it's Coastal.
It's Coastal, vastly outmatched as far as like player to player. This is also their first game coming off that Texas A&M game where they were up 33, and that was a sour taste. Gotta be. But hey, look, you get in the game with a win against Clemson. It's not like Clemson's vastly outperform you this year as far as like on-field results. Now, the caveat is that, all right, can this offensive line block this Clemson defensive line? Like, Clemson's defense isn't bad. It's not as great as they're expected to be this year, but
their defense isn't bad. It's just to reiterate what you said, no, it's definitely not as was advertised. And as talented as that defensive line is, I've still, throughout 11 games, yet to see them play as a unit instead of 4 individual defensive linemen. And South Carolina can take that to their advantage if they're paying enough attention. They can keep that defensive line on its heels, which a lot of teams have done by just finding the weak link in the defensive line that day and running straight at them. That's how Clemson has given up so many rush yards a few times this game. And South Carolina does not have it doesn't have the same run game it had last year, but it's definitely got enough options to make that a game plan, especially with Sellers.
Yeah, he's probably gonna have to take the lead, whereas QB design. I think with Sellers, and this has been like his part struggle for the whole season is first ball placement. Like, man has a cannon for an arm, but he overshoots his receivers quite a bit and quite often. Some of that is his offensive line. Like no matter what you say, you're antsy in the pocket because you don't trust what's in front of you. Trust to read. Like, you have that clock in your head. You're just ready to take off because it's like, I don't want to get hit or lay the hell out.
Still, you don't have to throw 130 miles an hour on a 7-yard slant.
Yeah. We got to learn some finesse. But hopefully they give his brother some
he had a spectacular game last week.
Yeah, he balled out.
He made quite a few big catches. He had a touchdown. He had a I think he returned the opening kickoff. Didn't he?
No, it was the first play of the offense. It was like a screen pass.
Okay.
Took it for 80 yards.
Yeah.
But it's tough. I'm not sure. I think I got to kind of double check. I think they were not playing him so they can keep his red shirt. So I'm not sure how many games he's played. But if they start him, he might start this game. Not start, but like get some playing time. Have that brother connection. Hopefully Nick Harburg can show up and step up and not disappear sometimes.
Every other game. He disappeared last week. That means he'll be back this week.
He'll be back this week. He's a part-time football player for. South Carolina defense against Clemson's offense. Look, South Carolina's defense. I'm not now. Dylan Stewart didn't play last game. I think they kept him out as a precaution. Byron Thomas Jr. Actually kind of balled out for him. I think the defensive line for South Carolina would definitely get some pressure on Clemson. See if Clemson can take advantage on the outside against the corners. See if they can get some form of a run game. You have any insights on the opposites of the ball?
Yeah, I don't think Clemson's going to have much luck with the run game. Like you said, South Carolina's defensive line is shaped up to be pretty good this year, and their linebacker play has definitely improved as well. But you want them to try to run because South Carolina's defensive backs are wildly inconsistent. And Cade Klubnik, despite the struggles that their offense has had this year, has definitely managed to pick apart weak secondaries. He's had a lot of big plays downfield, and he has good accuracy passing past the 20-yard mark. So you want them to run. You want to get pressure on Clemson early, make him nervous, force them to try to run the ball to take some of that pressure off, and then just stuff them. That's what South Carolina, in my opinion, should do. If you try to make Clemson pass, there's a good chance Klubnik's going to pick you apart.
Yeah, most definitely. Do you have a bet line on this game? You think you want to favor? So I can pull up the last.
I think South Carolina's favored in this one. I think most people would take South Carolina. I think I'm going to take South Carolina.
Take the Gamecocks out. I'm there with you, man. Got no protester. Matt, Jacob, where are you?
Silence. Yeah.
Silence.
The tiger sleeps tonight.
Tiger sleep. No, they got burned up in the tiger burn. That's what.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Clemson is bowl eligible at 6-5. I'm trying to get 7 wins. Once again, I think their win total in the preseason was 10.5.
10.5. Yep.
A vastly disappointing. Also, just kind of keep a look at Clemson, like down the road. Their recruiting class is not nearly as good as it has been in the past pretty much decade. Something to keep tabs on. A lot of players are eligible for the NFL draft. Not sure if they're going to come back. We see how Clemson looks.
We do, but Dabo's real good at getting players to come back and play that last season.
Like
if there's one guy I think has been able to convince more players in this last 15 years to do that one senior season, I don't know if anybody's even close to Dabo.
Fair point. Keep it going. All right. Well, those are the 2 biggest games of the weekend. 4. We're all gonna be misery together. Hopefully, for us, they could be 4 to get to a bowl game.
Let's hope at least two teams are going bowling out of those 4.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
maybe the ACC teams at least. All right. We're going to switch. So the rest of the episode, we're going to kind of do about conference because right now we have a lot of big playoff scenarios going on for a lot of tied up in the ACC and the G5 and the SEC. Big Ten's pretty straightforward for the most part, unless some things happen. But we're going to start in the G5 first. Instead of going each individual game, I'm just going to list all 4. So you have Temple at North Tech. So right now in the G5, it's really going to come down to probably the American Conference and maybe JMU could possibly sneak in representing the Sun Belt, but I think the American Conference has it. Make sure I got my notes right.
Yeah, isn't San Diego State still 10-1?
Yeah, but the way I think their schedule's set up, I just think all the American teams will rank ahead of them.
Oh, no, they lost last weekend. So they're probably
okay. Yeah. So
they probably are out. Yep.
All right. So right now the American has a 3-way tie for first place. Navy, North Texas, and Tulane are all 6-1 in the conference. Navy still has 2 games, but one game kind of decide if they're going to go to the AAC championship game, as they still have. But Navy goes to Memphis to take on the Tigers. Temple at North Texas and Charlotte at Tulane, and JMU goes to play Coastal. Right now, how goes, I believe, if Tulane and North Texas both win their games, that's your American Conference Championship game, and more than likely, your pretty much the G5 playoff spots can be between those two teams in the American Conference Championship. JMU has outside shot. I know they're higher ranked in the AP poll, but the college football poll, I don't believe they're ranked at all. Double check.
No, they weren't. I was gonna say, I disagree. I think if Memphis was somehow managed to make it into the AAC championship, I think they'd be your automatic favorite. I think if it comes down to North Texas and Tulane, and JMU has a convincing enough win against Coastal, we might see JMU take that 12th spot.
But just know that Tulane was ranked 24th in the college football playoffs.
Yeah. We'll see.
But still are. They would be higher. They didn't lose last week.
They didn't? Why do you think they did?
No, they won. So, because what the Memphis problem is, like, Memphis has 2 conference losses. So, so like, if North Texas, Tulane get in, like, there's no way they're going to be able to jump those 2.
So guess we'll see.
And more than likely, North Texas probably is going to be ranked. I know the rankings come out in like an hour. I believe they're going to be ranked. I just think the JMU conference schedule, like Sunbelt was just a weak conference.
It was a weaker conference this year. Yeah.
In addition to, I think their biggest game was Louisville. They lost by 14 to them. So, not hating on JMU. I do like JMU. I actually like their football program, their athletics programs. Not they hate on the Dukes, but let's keep it real. We got to keep it 100 here.
We're just going to lower your expectations. That's all.
No, it's Texas, but either way, all these games can be entertaining. I still like the JMU Coastal game. If you actually want to bet on that game, pull them up right quick. I also would take Coastal to cover. I think the line's 22. I don't know why they can't find it. There you go. You want to spell Coastal wrong? Oh, I'm an idiot.
You gotta be 10% smarter than the machine you're using, man.
Hey, man, AI, dude. Yeah, so it actually has dropped. It was 22. Now it's down to 21.5. I don't think JMU is that much better than Coastal. No, Coastal got blown out by South Carolina, but that's like SEC versus G5. I think JMU will win. They'll win by like 17 at best.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I'd take that one either. Honestly, I think I might pick Coastal to cover on that too.
So, now, Coastal did lose another quarterback. I think some of this is the reason is for that. Like I've never seen. They lost 3 quarterbacks this year so far.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
Brutal, and the fact they made it 65 is pretty wild.
Yeah, good for them. Hey, overcoming adversity.
Gotta love it. All right, well, that's the G5 spot. We're gonna head to Big Ten. So we got 2 highlighted games for the Big Ten. There's obviously more, and we're gonna open the floor up once we go through these games. Talk about some of these other games that we're not covering immediately. But the first one, of course, is the big one. We got Ohio State, your defending national champions, heading to Ann Arbor to take on the Wolverines. Ohio State is a 10-point favorite in this. Over is 44.5. Ryan Day is coming off losing, what is it, 3 straight now to Michigan? I think.
No, I thought they won last year.
No, they lost last year.
Did they? Jeez.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how many
I want to say it's
lost then. But I think that definitely changes this year. There's nothing against Michigan. They have the ability to make the upset and push Indiana into the number 1 spot. But Ohio State's been one of the most consistently difficult teams to play this year. So, and Sayin as a freshman, he's been absolutely phenomenal.
Double check and make sure. Yeah, 3 straight.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, 3 straight, and they've won 6 out of the last 8.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, Ryan Day struggles with Michigan. What can you say?
He struggles with Michigan. It's like I think this is like kind of the pressure. Like outside of losing this game last year, like his 2025 year. You won the national championship.
That's right. I do remember all the heat that was coming on him.
Oh yeah, it was fired, man. Like if they even win that national championship, there was a good chance it could have been fired, which
would have been crazy.
Crazy. This
11-2 fired. What?
Fired. This man lost like 5 games in like the last 3 or 4 years, and you want to fire?
But they did. They were hungry for blood.
They were hungry for blood.
Those Ohio State fans really wanted Ryan Day gone.
Yeah. They're hell mad.
We would kill for an 11-win season this year.
Yeah, right. I think, to the best of my knowledge, I think Michigan might still can play himself into the Big Ten championship if they win this game. This is like the one I didn't really do.
Well, you've got Oregon. Oregon, I believe, is next in line if it's not Indiana or Ohio State.
Yeah.
And then, I believe it's Michigan. Michigan's right behind them in Washington.
Yeah. So
I mean, if they win and Washington or Purdue win, I think Michigan goes.
Okay. So, well, shout out
Yeah.
Michigan.
Yep. If they win and Indiana or Oregon lose, Michigan would.
Michigan's in? Okay.
Yep.
So they still need some help.
They need some help.
Okay. So Michigan has a lot to play for because, like, in addition to that, now we kind of have to wait on the rankings to see how far they're going to jump up.
You beat number 1, who knows how high you climb?
Yeah, right. I mean, you beat number 1, you're definitely going to jump in there. But, like, as far as, I guess, like, this game's a mandatory win. You have to win. If they don't win, there's no shot making the playoffs.
And if you make it in, you get the automatic bid for the Big Ten. So,
yeah. Well, if he wins the championship. But I think you're right. You're pretty much right because I don't think they're going to punish them if they lose the conference championship either. For it.
Definitely not. I think win this week over number 1. I think Michigan's, whether they go to the Big Ten championship or not, are probably going to see themselves in the college football playoff.
I guess the real question comes in: is there any chance that Michigan can slow down this Ohio State offense?
Is there a chance? Yeah.
There's definitely a chance.
There's definitely a chance. Michigan has 2 really good safeties. And they're not exactly ball hawks, but they are ball stoppers. Good at pass breakups, good at defending the deep ball. But Saiyan is just so in tune with that offense. Justin Saiyan, Super Saiyan, is just so in tune with what Ryan Day has working for him. It's rare that you see him miss a beat. And with as much talent as they've put around him at the offensive line and the wide receivers and the tight end, it's a big task for Michigan.
I think we really don't know what Ohio State is. Like, truthfully, because I'm just looking at the schedule and like I'm in a couple.
It's not the strongest.
It is not the strongest, man.
Not
the
strongest.
And that Texas win lost some diminished, given how Texas is look. It can change, obviously, if Texas handle their business. And we get to that game in a little bit. But as far as, like, they haven't allowed more than 14 points all season in the game. And it's literally, they've just been kind of like cakewalking through. So, like, this is kind of like their first, I guess, other than Washington, outside of, like, Texas, this is, like, their most competitive game.
Yeah, but here's the thing. A lot of people want to bash on cakewalk seasons, but there are those times where when you have a cakewalk season and everything kind of always goes your way, you don't need to think about how you operate and how you use the offense or the defense play calling anymore. You kind of just it's almost muscle memory at that point because it's worked. You've seen it work. And it's a little more of a instinctual than having to, oh man, well, this play didn't work here and here at so and so. No, everything's worked. I think Ohio State's probably feeling pretty good, and that might actually be a boon for them just that complete confidence in that what they're doing works might help them take away any of the trials and tribulations Michigan might have faced or might have given them, and lets them put it in the rearview mirror before the game even starts.
Yeah, but not to face real competition since essentially September 27th.
I know, but hey, think about the FSU 2013 season. A lot of people said the same thing, that a cake schedule. They haven't seen real competition.
No, I'm not letting you do that. No, because that FSU team played Clemson, played Miami, and Florida that year.
I'm just saying that's what people were saying.
Stuff. I'll say this. Like, I think the battle really is going to be if this Michigan offense put up points on Ohio State, because like you're going to have at least score 24 to have a shot at winning.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hopefully hold your offense to like 21. It's going to be
I think the most points Michigan scored. Oh no, they scored 60 against Central Michigan, but other than that, the most they scored is 34 against New Mexico. So they haven't been exactly the most potent offense this year.
Yeah, they put up 45 against Maryland.
Oh, they did. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, okay. That was just the most recent. But no, they're not potent. I mean, Michigan was never really a potent offense. It's kind of like you grind them out, run the ball, play smash. You just have a very Bryce Underwood was really just going to have to put on a show. I think, especially with his feet, pretty much he's going to have like kind of a West Coast style with it. Do some roll out on play action and like take runs when they're there. And if you can hit a couple of deep shots a game, kind of get you maybe a touchdown if you catch them sleeping. I think that's really the only way you're going to win this game. But I can't argue against Michigan because, like, hell, everybody was thinking this is the exact thing last year,
and
they won the game.
And they won. You're right. They did.
So, like, they did. And they do get this game at home. So, if they can get – and they're, like you say, going to be kind of desperate, man. Like, this is a chance for them to get in the worst case. Not if they don't get into the Big Ten championship, you have a very good case to arguing about being in the playoffs.
Yeah.
At 10-2, and you have to win over the number one team for the entire season.
Yep.
For the most part. So
almost the entire season, yeah.
Almost the entire season since the first week at least. Stuff. Do you have a play on this game you like to give the people?
I like Michigan to cover.
Same here.
I think Ohio State's going to win, but it's the rivalry game, of rivalry games. Last year, for example, you really can never tell who's going to come out on top in this game. And they've had so many close matchups, especially in the last 10, 15 years, that you got to imagine it's going to be at least a one possession game.
Yeah, most definitely. Like this game's rarely a blowout. So pretty talented stuff. All right, let's go to the other Big Ten game. This is a sneaky one. Oregon, Washington. Oregon's a 6.5-point favorite. Oregon's coming off a big win over Southern Cal. I believe 42-27 last week. Pretty much the game of the weekend. The Huskies have been pretty hot the last couple weeks. Oregon's been a little banged up, but they've been still figuring things out to get them going. Fun fact, though, Oregon has not beat Washington the last 2 years which includes the year they played them twice and lost both games.
Mm-hmm.
They were the last year of the Pac-12, and including last season. So, like, the real question is, you think the Huskies can do it again?
I think they can, but I don't think this will be it. They did just put almost 50 points on UCLA and Purdue back to back, but they also just lost to Wisconsin. Don't get me wrong. I think, huh?
Forgot about that.
Yeah, I definitely think Washington's a really good team. They're top 6 in the Big Ten. That's nothing to blow your nose at, but Washington is not, I don't think, is going to be able to keep up on the defensive side of the field against a stacked offensive unit like Oregon has. Washington lacks depth on defense and they lack size. Now, Oregon's not exactly the biggest team either, but when you've got, a 160-pound corner tackling a 170-pound wide receiver, there's no advantage there, and speed's most likely going to be the biggest factor, which Oregon has. So I think Washington is capable of scoring enough to win this. I don't think that their defense has the depth or capability to keep up with Oregon for all 4 quarters.
It's going to be interesting because, I know they put up 40 against Purdue and UCLA, or over 40, but in their kind of essentially their biggest meaningful games, they struggle, which were Ohio State, Michigan, and surprisingly Wisconsin. Yeah, where they put up 6, 7, and 10 touchdowns.
Even Maryland, they struggled against.
Yeah, and this Oregon defense is legit. I think that's pretty much is the strength for Oregon's team, especially on the defense line. They get some pass rushers. I know Damon Williams. Very mobile quarterback. He can probably get outside, do some things, but he's also prone to turn the ball over just as easily. Also, I think Oregon is also in a situation where hey, they can't afford to lose this game because they lose this game, they might not make the playoff. Very good potential way of not doing that, making, especially given a lot of the SEC teams have a little more favorable schedules. You don't want to push your boat at 10-2. To compare yourself to those schedules. So I think
I was going to say, you don't think a 10-2 Oregon team can make it, huh?
I think it would be an argument.
Yeah, I mean, they've had really only 2 signature wins this year against Iowa and Southern Cal.
Yeah.
Well, they beat Penn State when Penn State was still number 3. That's the game Drew Allar got hurt on.
Yeah.
But Penn State fell apart after that. So it was Penn State all Drew Allar, and Oregon's just the thumbtack that popped their bubble, or was Penn State going to crumble anyways, and Oregon just was the first one to pull the string out from under them. So, but Oregon, I don't know. I say a 10-2 Oregon team still makes the playoffs over a 9-3 SEC team.
Depends on who's that 9-3 SEC team. I mean, you compare Oregon to Alabama, I think people are going to take Alabama because just of the wins they got.
I think if Alabama somehow lost, I think that Florida State loss would anchor them, and I think it might pull them out, especially against a team like Oregon.
Yeah, but the part of Oregon, they don't have a win over a playoff team. Alabama does.
No, yeah. I mean,
that would be like
it all depends. It all depends on are you gonna look at the good wins more or the bad losses more?
That's fair. That's subjective.
Yeah, it's all depending on how somebody votes. Yeah,
I votes. That's why we have a committee. Speaking of the SEC, oh yeah, damn. Before we continue, I'm tripping. You have a play for this game as far as a bet?
I've got Oregon covering 6.5. Yeah, like you said, Oregon's defense is stacked. They are a little undersized in my opinion, but they are stacked with talent. And I don't think Washington's defense has enough depth to keep up with Oregon. I said it, yeah, for 4 quarters, for 60 minutes. I just don't. I wish I could say otherwise. I got much love for the Huskies all the time. I used to go to those games as a kid, but I'm sorry, I think Oregon's got your number this year.
Same here. I think it's gonna be clear. Like I see
winning three in a row over Oregon is pretty substantial.
I misspoke that. That was 2 in a row. They lost last year to break it.
Okay.
So,
but man, you set me up for failure.
I know, right? I apologize. Now we can move over to the SEC. So, now I spent 40 minutes trying to figure out exactly what needs to happen in this game. So we're going to cover all the teams that are going to be involved in this. I'm going to pop this up on the screen. We have SEC playoff scenarios. Let me get rid of this so people can see it. This is some of them. I don't think they even list all of them. Yeah, this is the big four. So there's primarily going to be four main scenarios. There could be more based on conference win percentage and losses based on like the outcomes on some other games. But the main four we have right now are the ones on your face. The easiest right now is Texas A&M and Alabama will both be in if both teams win. That's the easiest scenario. From then on, it's subjective. Of Alabama, Georgia would be it if Bama wins, A&M loses, and Ole Miss win. It'd be Georgia, Ole Miss. If Bama lost and A&M lost, it would be Georgia, Texas A&M. If Bama loses, A&M loses, and Ole Miss loses.
Okay.
For it. So A&M has two ways of getting in. Bama has two, and Georgia has two. Ole Miss has one and needs some help. Primarily, those are going to be the scenarios come across. And before we get into that, let's pop in. First game, ACC-SEC matchup. Georgia convinced Georgia Tech to move this from Bobby Dodd to Mercedes-Benz. I think Georgia Tech was stupid to do that. They did it for the money, obviously.
Yeah.
Either they're moving to a state that has black and red, but you never know. This game was thought to be not close last year, and it went to go on 5 overtimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm wild.
But wow, on Friday night, Bulldogs are favored 13.5 against the Yellow Jackets, who's coming off a loss to
Pitt.
Yep. What are your thoughts on? You think Georgia Tech can shock the world? Get the win against Georgia?
You know what? If you had asked me that 3 weeks ago, I would have told you not only do I think they can, but that they will. Georgia Tech racked up 2 bad losses against Pitt's not the worst loss, but the NC State loss looks real bad right now. And barely escaping Boston College in between. I think Georgia Tech has lost a little bit of their steam. Which is surprising because they don't really have any injuries, at least on their offense. Their offense has managed to stay healthy all year. So I wonder what's stuck in their craw that they're not playing like they were at the beginning of the season, where they looked a little more dominant, playing Colorado, playing Temple, and even though the score was close, looked like the decided winners of the Clemson game as well. So I'm not as sure. I think King's a great quarterback. I think he can figure out just about any problem you put in front of him, and he can at least give you your best option to win if you're Georgia Tech. But Georgia's been the opposite. Georgia seems to have been playing better as the year goes on, when at the beginning of the season, they were kind of looking like fakes. You weren't really sure, especially after that Tennessee and Alabama back-to-back double overtime and then a loss. You were kind of convinced that Georgia wasn't going to be who they were advertised. But this last 3 games, they've really come out swinging, and I think they've got the momentum on their side. I think it makes Georgia a real easy, real favorable pick in this one.
See, my problem with Georgia is they're kind of like, hey, they can always beat Texas for whatever reason. They're always ready for that game. They've played them 3 times in the last year, and so far they've won every game. But everybody else, they struggle. Like, I know you listed Alabama and Tennessee, but they also struggle against Florida and Jacksonville. They struggle against who else was it?
Auburn.
Auburn, yeah. No, don't get me wrong. Auburn has a solid defense. It's the offensive side of Auburn. That's why Hugh Freeze isn't there anymore. But I think they won't sleep on Georgia Tech because Georgia Tech can't put points on them. It's just, can the Georgia Tech defense show up? That's what's like, when you give up 28 points in the first half. I think the first quarter, right?
Yeah, first quarter.
First quarter, 28 points, man. That's
gonna be hard to come back from.
Yeah, that's just tough to get back. And if you're gonna have a shot at making the playoff, you have to win this game. Like you have possible opportunities. Like if some of these other games play out in your favor, but like
Georgia Tech loses, they're out. They're out for sure.
For sure. So, I don't like Haynes King. Like, can he do it again? Can you threaten? No, is it Brent Key just knows how to cut Kirby? Maybe potentially because it's not like Georgia's offense is elite. Like they made
they benefited from good special teams play and great field position. Lots of turnovers.
But Zach Branch also is a killer on the outside. Transferred from Southern Cal, a wide receiver, and he's been kind of like getting fed the ball more and more. And Georgia Tech's DBs or secondary has been pretty bad the last couple of weeks. Like you said, NC State earlier, they gave up 48. They struggled with BC, give up 34 points. They should have lost the game, honestly. They got pretty unlucky with that for it. Do you have a betting play for this?
You know what? If I were to take, I would definitely have Georgia Tech cover in this one. Georgia 13.5. You did mention that they've struggled more than just a handful of times. And I don't think they have that ability to distance themselves from their opponents like they have the last few years. So Georgia Tech definitely has a potent offense. They have a really good run game. They can keep in it offensively, at least to keep it below a two possession game.
Yep. I'll say the same thing. I think Kirby would love to put this game away early, but I just don't think he will. I think Georgia Tech would cover. I think this is probably more of a 10-point game than 13.5. Because Kirby's going to have to get ready. I think more than likely Georgia's going to the SEC championship, so like they're going to have to get ready for the extra game, try to get that bye if they can. So
let me ask you: if Georgia Tech wins, are they automatically in, or do they need a little bit of help?
I think some of that will be played out based on what happens in front of them. A win over number 4 should move them. You're thinking the top 12. It just depends. Like, all right, well, what happens with Texas and Texas A&M? What happens?
And don't forget the ACC champ.
And the ACC champ, like they won't. Like, which they still have a shot at, but they have no, like, they can't control their destiny.
They're on the outside looking in,
Looking in.
The only one who has a harder road in is Duke.
Yeah. And I think Duke has a more favorite win than Georgia Tech, honestly.
Yikes.
Because as far as, like, the options that came out, I'm going to come out with those in a bit for people who are listening. But I think Duke has the most, like, options. Strangely enough. This is why I hate like 17, 18 team conferences, man. God. This is
Is 6-6 Duke really going to be in or 7-5 Duke really going to be in the ACC championship?
Yeah, which is crazy given the fact that Wake Forest is 9-2?
9-2, yeah.
God, go Wake, man. I am not the only one. I think most people are completely wrong on them, but props to Wake Forest, man. That was a hell of a season. I don't know how
I didn't see it coming. I just assumed they were still losing every week. Honestly.
Yeah. I think they were just winning. No one just was paying attention.
Nobody was paying attention.
All right. Well, speaking of another big game, this might be one of the biggest games ever in this rivalry. Texas A&M traveling down to Austin, undefeated, taking on the Longhorns. Texas A&M's 2-point favorite. Over on is 51.5. Arch Manning career high last week. I think it was 350.
Last week.
That's something that ballpark. I looked it up.
Thought they were off last week.
No, it was their sports are top 10, all that. Everybody hype up Arch Manning.
Yeah, that's true.
No, East, man. I got to talk about the biggest sellers.
Oh, against Arkansas. That's right.
Yeah.
That's why I forgot about it. Finally, Arkansas had only its second loss by more than 7 points.
That's a crazy stat line.
That sucks for Arkansas.
Sorry, Arkansas, right?
They showed if Arkansas, the reverse. If you won the games, you were within 1 point. Florida State would have been 10-2, and Arkansas would have been or Florida State would have been 10-1, and Arkansas would have been 9-2.
Damn, that's crazy. Damn, they fired their coach. Oh, Bobby. Hire Bobby, man. Let's see him again.
Don't hire. Everybody's done with Bobby Petrino. Okay, Bobby, four times is too many to accept the same job.
For
you're not Dennis. Who's that guy who kept coming back to Arizona State? You're not him.
Erickson. Dennis Erickson. Name's Erickson. Erickson. Yeah. Okay, quick thoughts on this game. So Marcel Reed, Marsh Manning, Texas defense, Texas A&M's defense. This should be one of the better matchups of the weekend by far. I think some of this is going to come down. Can Arch handle this pass rush as Texas A&M is going to generate? That probably is the best defensive line in the SEC, and one of the best defensive lines in the country.
Texas A&M. Yeah, you probably got. Yeah, I'd say maybe in the country.
Yeah, and Mike Elko knows how to call defense, so I give that to him too. But you think Marcel Reed cannot throw 4 picks, in a half?
Yeah. If you could just hold on to the ball, imagine how much more they'd be beating people by.
Right. This Texas defense is pretty good. Any quick thoughts or insights in this game?
Yeah, Texas is doomed.
Texas. Oh, really?
Texas is doomed. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I just really I don't think it's going to be that close. I really think Texas A&M is going to hammer Texas, and sure they'll score, but it might get ugly for the Longhorns.
I'm gonna choose Texas to cover. And I think I'm gonna choose Texas to outright win.
Oh dang!
I'm choosing chaos. I'm choosing chaos.
All right, choose it.
Yeah, I just think. Texas. It's desperate. Like if there's gonna be a 9-3 team that's gonna try to make a case to make the playoffs, Texas has the best case of them all, and they have to win this to even have a shot. And they can get a win over the number 3 team. That Ohio State loss looks best loss in the country by far. Let's look at the rest of their schedule right quick. The other 2 losses is Georgia, and he lost the Florida loss is pretty bad.
Well, Florida loss is bad, yeah. I don't know if you can get over that one.
But it'll balance it out a little bit, and you have argument case with all right, we'll have a couple 9-3 teams. If a couple things go your way with how the rest.
Don't forget they also struggled against Kentucky, so.
Hey, they won though.
Yeah, is that a win?
A win's a win.
I guess so.
We have more points than the other team. That's a win.
All right.
And they also beat Oklahoma.
Some wins don't feel like wins.
Yeah, and they beat Oklahoma too. So you got to win over Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and your losses you have a bad Florida loss, but you also got a loss against Georgia and Ohio State. Those
are 2 good ones. Yeah, you're right.
That's a pretty solid schedule. I felt like they don't have a great case. I think the committee and I think the powers that be will want Texas in just solely for the numbers they'll do.
Sure, they want them in, but they're going to really have to force it to get them.
Yeah.
Especially, and if they lose to A&M, you just can't put them in.
No, they lose to A&M, they're done. It's a wrap. They'll
still try to spin it somehow, though.
Yeah, this is essentially their playoff, pre-playoff, I guess.
Mm-hmm. The playoffs before the playoffs.
Before. All right, we're going to keep it moving. Stay in the SEC. Got 2 more SEC games. Now, this might be the biggest game in the state of Tennessee history. As we got the Vanderbilt Commodores headed down to Knoxville to take on the Vols. Tennessee is a 2.5-point favorite. Over/under is 64.5.
Ooh.
I guess there's some points to this one. Vandy 9-2. Win
Mhm.
over Tennessee to get them to their first 10-win season in program history.
Oh, you want that real bad.
Program history. 100+ years
Mhm.
of not winning. Like, that is insane.
I mean, we saw James Franklin bring them to their first 9-win season.
9-win season. Like, two massive milestones of
That's crazy.
something I witnessed in my life. I never thought I'd see the day, but here we are.
I think Vandy gets it.
Okay.
I think they do. Tennessee has ceased to really impress me, and Vanderbilt is maybe the scrappiest team that you're going to play. They don't go away, even if they fall behind. They make it tough for you. They do not let you just walk away with a win against them, and they remind me of fleas. Like, no matter how much you scratch at them and try to get rid of them, they keep coming back.
Keep coming back. I guess.
And they bite. Palkia's got some Pavia. I can never remember. Huh? Pavia.
Yeah, Pavia.
He bites, man. He's got some teeth to him.
I mean, you hang out with Theo Vaughn, you know.
He can't. He's not just gonna beat you on the field. He's gonna burn your soul. He's gonna say something that is gonna break you a little bit.
Hey man, just got that dog with him and all.
He does. He's an absolute top trash talker.
Oh yeah, I admire it, man.
I got respect for it. He backs it up.
He backs it up, man. As long as you backs it up, man.
It's like a Timu Baker Mayfield.
I wouldn't do it like that, man. Yeah, Vandy, you gotta come and break. Yeah, I'm probably right with this. I know it's that Tennessee, but I just think that Vandy has been so solid this year, and Tennessee has been so up and down. Like they might be the worst 3-loss team in the country.
They feel like it. They really do.
Like
you hear that they only have 3 losses, and you just kind of want to go, "Are you sure?
Like, how is that even possible?
Are you sure?"
I'm sure, but they do. But like, it's just like I don't know. They disappoint against the good teams. They disappoint. And even like I guess Mississippi State, Mississippi State is much improved compared to their.
Oh yeah, compared to
the record's not gonna reflect it, but like they're much improved. But I don't know. I just feel like they won 8 games, but like it's kind of a down year. And like
isn't this the team that was waving their helmets around and throwing towels in the air when they beat Syracuse to start the season? Like,
yeah.
If you're Tennessee, you can't be celebrating those Syracuse win now.
If you think their fan base putting pressure, because a lot of the fan base was like, this was obviously a disappointing season compared to coming off last year. I mean, you got to cut them a little slack. God, they lost a quarterback late in the spring due to him wanting to make some more money, and he regrets that one.
I don't know. Who knows? He might be perfectly happy with this situation.
Well, he's back at home now, so I guess.
He's just gotten to spend his entire fall in LA getting paid. What ridiculous number was it? $8.5 million.
Oh no, he only got $1 million.
He only got $1 million. Are you sure?
Yeah, UCLA. No, gave him. UCLA got no money. All that money goes to the basketball team.
True.
Well, give me Vandy to cover in this. I think I'll take the 2.5. Honestly, I'll probably take them outright to win.
I'll take them outright. I'll take the line on that one.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. I'm really surprised that hasn't moved down. Stay that 2.5. So early in the week though, that can definitely come down. All right, let's keep it moving. I know we're at an hour. Roll Tide. We got the Iron Bowl, baby. Alabama, Auburn. Probably one of the biggest rivals in my know this game. Anything is possible.
We've seen it.
We've seen it.
We've seen missed field goals returned for touchdowns. We've seen 2-11 beat the number 1 in the country. There's nothing you haven't seen in this rivalry.
The impossible seems to be possible. 6-point favorite, Alabama is. Now, The interesting thing about this game is Auburn has a really legitly really good defense. The QB plays what's been killer there. And then you have Cam Coleman on the outside, and I don't know, they will have to throw him in like a bag to keep him there because honestly, if I'm the powers that be, I wish he'd come down Tallahassee, but I don't think Tallahassee got enough money to get him to come down that way. But
maybe follow in his brother's footsteps.
Who's his brother?
I'm just guessing it was Keon Coleman.
Oh, before.
I don't think it really is, but it's fun to think about.
It's fun to think about. Oh, damn. Money heading to Auburn. You think Auburn can cover?
I just said it, man. There's no telling what's going to happen in this one. But realistically, no. Auburn does have a great defense. Alabama's seen a lot of great defenses this year, and whether it's the run game, the pass game, they've managed to figure a way around tough defenses. Auburn, it's nothing special for Alabama this year.
I'll push back on that, because I think Auburn's like the Timu version of Oklahoma. I think like they are.
Is that our new sponsor? Timu. Help the brother out.
I think it's going to have to be like they're going to have to force some turnovers and score on defense or on special teams or take advantage of very short fields. Like this Alabama team has been like overly reliant on Ty Simpson. And Ty Simpson's been good. Like props to him, like stepping up this year and waiting it out for all the quarterbacks that went ahead of him.
I agree. Yeah.
But like when he does play bad or when he does get pressure, and you can tell we saw it in the Florida State game, we saw it against Oklahoma. He can definitely like turn the ball over and stuff. But Alabama does not have a running game. Like they do not run the ball well, and their defense is good, but they're not elite. Like you can put up points. Like I can see Cam Coleman getting a 1-on-1 and winning it on a touchdown, and it's at Auburn. You're at home, so like this is their season. They're trying to make they're trying to make a bowl still. So I think they're gonna go for it. So give me Auburn to cover, and plus it'll be chaos. If Auburn wins the team, this pretty much will knock Alabama out of the playoff.
I think you're right. Yeah,
for it. So
I think you're right. No, Alabama, they might not have. I'm going to argue something real quick. They might not have a great running back, but they have a pretty solid run game. They do a lot of sweeps and wide receiver runs that gets them out of some jams that they use. They might not do it often, but they use it effectively. It might not be the best. I'd say it's pretty good.
Fair point. All right. And finally, we're going to go to the ACC. This is going to be a quick cover. But before I get into that, I'm going to pull up this same scenario project I worked on. And there we go. Let me get rid of this banner so everybody can see. So right now in the ACC, there's about, I think, 4 teams or 5 teams that are still in play, possibly get into this ACC championship. And it's kind of hard to fully list even all of them because, like, other games will matter. They're, like, being played based on who wins and lose. So there's, like, a little calculator that does that you can use online to kind of filter through it. And these are the 8 best possibilities I came up with.
The 8 best, not the 8 total. These are the 8 best.
The 8 best.
Because I think Miami's got 8 different ways to get in all by themselves.
And they need all the help as possible. Those are one of those teams that can get jumped if they by other teams that are behind them right now.
That's a team that could definitely find itself outside of the playoffs real quick.
Well, the easiest one would be SMU and Virginia winning. If they both win their games, that's your ACC championship. Then after that, it gets a little chaotic. I'm gonna run through right quick from all the listeners who'll be listening to this later. Second best, Pitt and Georgia Tech. For those two to make it in, you will need an SMU loss, a Virginia loss, and a Pitt win over Miami. For Duke, Miami, you would need SMU to lose, Virginia to lose, Miami to win, and Duke to win. For SMU, Duke, you would need an SMU win, a Virginia loss, a Miami win, and a Duke win. For Pitt versus UVA, you would need an SMU loss, a Virginia win, and a Pitt win.
You skipped Duke versus Miami.
Oh, I did. Damn. See, there's so many of them.
I know. Losing track.
Duke versus Miami will include a SMU loss, a Virginia loss, a Duke win, and a Miami win. Duke versus Virginia.
How does Duke have so many options into the championship?
This is a team that lost to UConn.
Hey, UConn's 9-3, I think.
They're 9-3, but God damn it, you're supposed to be a Power 4 team.
You go, Jim Mora.
Shout out Jim Mora though. I ain't like him in Atlanta, but UConn.
I liked him everywhere else. I liked him at UCLA. I like him at UConn.
Duke versus Virginia. Right. SMU loss, a Miami win, a Virginia loss, and the Duke win. The Miami and UVA would be a SMU loss, a Duke loss, a Virginia loss, and a Miami win. So 6-6 Duke, or who plays a 9-3, which is insane. They play a 9-3 or not 8-3 Wake Forest team, which they might lose to. Good chance of that. That actually might be a pretty good game. Kind of keep on your fourth screen if you got YouTube TV or multi-screen it. But that's stuff. So instead of going through all these individual games and scenarios, I kind of just pop them in all together. Amongst these four games, which ones do you think will be the most entertaining?
You know what? Out of all of these, I really think that Miami Pitt is going to be something to watch. Pitt's figured their offense out. Their defense isn't as stout as it usually is that you expect with a Pat Narduzzi defense, but they've made up for it with the ability to score. And Miami has all the talent in the world, and Cristobal just keeps seeming to Clemson himself out of the playoffs. So we may see it again.
Yeah. It's very wild the amount of money that Miami spent and not made the playoffs, and no one's kind of like highlighting that.
Mm-hmm.
And the potential that you might have.
Think about how many other teams will be getting thrashed right now by the football media if they had spent as much as Miami did on coaching staff and NIL.
Yeah.
And we're not a guaranteed playoff lock.
Yeah. Which includes like one of your quarterbacks going first overall.
Yeah.
And potential for another one to maybe be a first or second rounder. So
potential first or second rounder this year too. Yeah.
This year. So it's like it's just insane. And you're in the ACC, which has been pretty mediocre this year. My best bet out of Wake and Duke, I said this earlier, I think that'd be a good game. A lot of these scenarios pin on Virginia losing. I don't see Virginia losing to Virginia Tech at home. But I think SMU is the team you kind of need to keep tabs on. I think they will win. They will beat Cal. I know they're going from Texas to Cali. I'm not going to put all my life savings on it, but I think Kevin Jennings, I think he's like the most underrated quarterback in college football. Like the guy wins games, and I just don't think they get the respect they deserve. You know, they made the playoffs last year, came second in this conference. Mm-hmm. They have an opportunity of 2 years. Just understand for my listeners or my viewers that they don't know, SMU is not getting paid to be in the ACC right now.
I know
for 5 more years.
That's crazy.
And they're so far in the league for 2 years. They have a chance to make 2 conference championships.
They're just happy for the TV viewership right now.
Yeah, the opportunities and stuff. They don't need the money. They have like insane alumni.
They have a huge endowment. Yeah.
Yeah. So they'll be all right. I'm rooting for them boys. So like Mustangs, let's go. That was the name of my my squadron when I was in basic training in the Air Force. Mustangs. How do we fight?
No Mustangs.
To the last man, to the last bullet, to the last minute, to the last play. We fight. Oh, this comes out. Oh, just give you shakings. I hope they win the ACC and make the. Actually, that's kind of the thing I was kind of wondering. I guess they probably would rank them, But what if there's a case where like JMU and the American Conference champion are ranked ahead of the ACC champion?
I think there's a chance. There really is. If Virginia wins, or Virginia doesn't make it, and it's somehow like
it's like Duke
versus SMU, and SMU doesn't win, then absolutely, the JMU could very likely be ranked ahead of the ACC champion. It's like when UConn went to the Sugar Bowl at 8-4.
I completely forgot about that. Oh Lord, let's hope
you just kind of got to shake your head a little bit, like
oh, man.
Better luck next year. While we're on the ACC, real quick, we got to fix some terminology that people are throwing away or throwing out way too often. We cannibalize ourselves in our conference. These are the 8 most likely scenarios that we're showing out of close to 20 something.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a conference that cannibalizes itself. The ACC, nobody ever gets ahead anymore. Now that Clemson has lost a little bit of its like stardust and Florida State is in limbo, like nobody runs away with this conference anymore. It's a beat 'em up brawl till the last game of the season.
That's pretty much what the ACC is, man. It's what was the East man?
I don't want to hear any more SEC fans being like, "Oh, we cannibalize ourselves." No, there's like four championship scenarios. There's like almost 20 something for the ACC.
ACC, right? Like this is cannibalism.
Pitt's walking away with fingers from other teams, saying like, "No, I'm keeping these for later. I'm gonna hold on to these until I need them,
just in case, you know." All right, and I'm gonna pop in on the Big 12 right quick. I'm not gonna go through all their games. Share. I'm bugging. Oh, that's how we do it. There you go. Did it work?
Still says ACC to me.
There you go. Nope, we're not. I'm bugging. What the hell's going on? Oh, I'm trying to get this work. You want to add to the stage? Oh,
trying to tell us nobody needs to know about the Big 12.
Right. There you go. Big 12 standings, Texas Tech, BYU are leading. Arizona State, Utah are right behind. Per much of Texas Tech and BYU handle the business. They will be your Big 12 championship representatives. I think even if BYU loses, I think they're going to get over Utah, Arizona State because of the head-to-head.
I believe so, yeah. I think that matchup's set already.
Yeah. Now, one thing, I think Texas Tech takes on West Virginia, and what's BYU? Takes on UCF. Any insights on those quick games?
Yeah. Thanks for playing UCF. Better luck next year. BYU, good luck in the Big 12 championship. Who's Texas Tech playing?
West Virginia.
West Virginia. It looks like both of the top representatives get to waltz into their conference championship. Because I mean, you could not even start your starters. Both teams could lose, and I think would still be the Big 12 representatives. So
yeah. And
no offense, but I think Texas Tech's backups right now might be able to beat West Virginia without a problem.
Oh man, that it down. Now, just like future thoughts on them, I think the Big 12 can cause the most chaos because that Big 12 championship is BYU and Texas Tech, and BYU is it. That's another at-large that goes out the window.
Yeah,
and
because Texas Tech's going to grab one of those spots.
Yeah, they definitely grab one of them. So that's where like the teams like if Oklahoma's in what's that 12 like Utah's trying to sneak in.
Yeah, I was going to say Utah, like Utah and.
I see this.
I'm trying to remember who the other. There's two teams who could make sneaky enough jumps if the right teams lose to put themselves into position for Big 12 to have three teams in the playoff.
Yeah. So right now, Utah's 12, BYU's 11th, and they're both right behind Alabama. If Alabama scrubs up and loses to Auburn, I think that's where it gets interesting because at that point now you got about, I mean, you're talking about 5 or 6, 10, 2 teams if some of these results pan out. I mean, you got Vandy, Miami, Utah, BYU, essentially fighting for Alabama's spot.
Mm-hmm. Possibly Georgia Tech.
Possibly Georgia Tech, possibly Texas, possibly Michigan.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
And if a couple of these upsets go the right way and the Big 12 capitalizes, some of those upsets might find themselves on the outside looking in. Might be stealing a playoff spot from their own conference.
I think they would rig it.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do. But I think they're going to do something to rig it because they'd be so
the
pissed.
The playoff committee's just like, there's no way we're putting 3 Big 12 teams in the play. We're not going to do that. And Utah's like, don't do this to me again. Don't make me beat Bama again.
Right.
2008 Utah, 14-0.
Urban Meyer, Alex Smith.
That was 2003 Utah.
2003 Utah. You're right.
It was 2003 Utah.
Who was that? Was that with him still? Yeah, he was still there.
Yeah, I think
he was earlier. Damn, he was there for a long time. God,
he was. He was there for like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. Well, so Texas would be interesting. No, it would be hilarious if Texas Tech, Texas A&M, and North Texas make the playoffs and
Texas doesn't.
That'd
be rough.
That'd be rough. Or even you could throw in SMU too.
I was going to say SMU too. Yeah, you could have 4 Texas teams in the college football playoffs, and none of them are the Longhorns.
None of the Longhorns. That would be wild. That would be like God.
That would be an angry state.
Angry state, man.
I don't know. I don't know if Texas could survive that.
Oh God, that would be they would never schedule non-conference again. I'll tell you that.
Especially if the Cowboys lose the next day, the whole state might go up in flames.
Like flame on. We got Texans down there too, though. All right, and one last thing. I'm open the floor to you, Brian. Is there any game? I know we have a lot of games we didn't cover, but is there any game that's catching your eye that you want to talk about?
You know what? I mean, we kind of talked about it. I was going to bring up the Utah-Kansas game. Kansas gets bowl eligible with a win. Utah is beating on the door for a playoff spot. I thought San Diego State was still one loss. I would have brought that one up. They're playing New Mexico. Way to go, Dan Mullen. Oh no, that was Las Vegas.
Yeah,
I don't know who's coaching New Mexico, but good job for them too. So I think New Mexico won 2 games last year. I mean, mostly it's rivalry week, man. We talked about pretty much all the important ones. We finally got around to it.
Yeah, I'll give a quick shout out to. No one's really probably talk about this game except for the people that are in the state of Arizona. But Arizona State and Arizona is actually being like a much better game than probably what you would thought in the preseason.
2-8-3 teams, yeah.
Yeah, man. Like that's I know Arizona State probably would like to be back in the contention for the playoffs or the Big 12 championship, but still they set a pretty good follow-up season after going 11-2 the year before. So props to those guys.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. UNLV can win 10 games if they beat Nevada this weekend.
Woo.
So Las Vegas versus Reno. Dan Mullen, his first year with the Running Rebels, might find himself in double-digit wins.
You know what's going to happen, right? Dan Mullen back to Florida. Let's go.
Never should have let the man go.
Should never let the man go. Just let his wife kiss a couple of players, man. It'll be all right. God. What's wrong with society? I'm trying to make sure. I'm just going down.
Hey, just in case things go really bad next year, let's let him stay at Las Vegas.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
One more year couldn't hurt.
Just let's not wish anything terrible on Mr. Mullen here. Let's only wish good things.
For
see UNLV in the playoffs next year.
UNLV in the playoffs.
And then I don't know, depending on what happens with Florida State, maybe Mr. Mullen wants to come back to Florida.
Ooh, okay. It's manifesting. I wouldn't be mad at that. I didn't know I would be mad at that. If you hire Florida State, if you're watching this down the road, if you're going to hire Dan Mullen, you better hire a recruiting coordinator that's damn good. And just hey, Dan, just focus on the field. We got
just focus on the field. Just call the plays. You ain't got to worry about a dang thing when it comes to talking to these kids.
Kids, we got you. We keep it like Dion. I'm looking through the slate. I think we covered pretty much all the heavyweights games. All right, we'll keep it moving. With that being said, guys, I know we missed a couple weeks this year, but we're going to have us conference championship week, bowl games, playoffs. December, we're going to be locked in. I can't speak for the Clemson side of the crew. They've been depressed all year, so they've been in and out.
They forgot what it's like to have to lose more than 2 games.
2 games. See, us Florida State people, we're humble, man. Humble background. We know the struggle. We appreciate it. Even though
we thrive in it.
Even though we almost
live and die in it.
We're going to triple our win total from last year, so that's a positivity. I'm going to not crash out Mike Norvell and panic stuff. I'm believe he's going to bring us back. If not, Dan Mullen.
Dan Mullen. Keep the phone close, man. I'm going to be calling.
Just keep calling, man. With that being said, that's Rod. It's your boy Nick. This is the Dual Threat Podcast. Please follow us on all major platforms. And until the next time, we'll see you.